Pretty good discussion over years on.
Department of
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Hospital,
you did. He wasn't very, no.
Yeah.
or
I apologize, I'm sorry.
do you want it out of general, courthouse general?
Laura's done a good job controlling it. She did.
I mean, that's kind of the catch-all department.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
I don't know really where else you might want to start from, but.
Just do that.
Okay.
That windshield we're gonna pay for is courthouse general.
Oh.
Yeah. So, we're back. Continuation Monday, checks and vouchers today.
Yeah,
Good. Bobby is gonna be up to meet with you guys
Oh, okay.
today, something he wants to update you.
Okay.
And then I think Richard might be stopping in too at some point, so.
Okay.
Okay.
I do have, I may have to take a phone call or two. Okay. I've got some deliveries scheduled.
Which I do, just set all this out and pass the basket down.
That's normally what we do. Just makes it a little easier. Steve for calling back.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying something to me.
Oh, no, I was talking to Jessica, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Heidi did bring up, and she was under basically the direction of the commission, we're gonna have to do a budget, and I'm assuming we should incorporate the commission's budget with hers.
Well,
Then
we created a different department for her
I agree
under
with
the
that.
general fund. So, I mean, I can help her create the budget if you'd like, or if you guys want to do something, I mean, I just didn't know how you wanted to handle that, so.
That's why I'm bringing it up now, so we can actually, if, I don't mean this how that might sound, but if we had an assistant, that person would help Heidi probably do that, so I'm fine with you doing that.
Yeah.
As so
If that
am I.
makes sense.
No, it does.
Yeah, if that's okay with you.
Yeah,
Angie.
absolutely,
sense.
absolutely.
Okay.
I'd be happy to help her, and that way she can kind of learn to figure her personal services and her, this first year will be hard for her to determine like how much she might need
Right.
as a one-woman show or one-person show in there,
Right. Right.
And
but
you're
we
right.
can get something set up at least to kind of give you an idea, and then come next year, she might be able just to fly on her own, so.
Yeah, you've probably got,
She said she had a general idea how it goes together with putting it together with, when she was in other places anyway, so she did assist in it, so
Okay,
it won't be probably anything
Yeah.
different, so.
I just didn't want to step on any toes,
Yeah,
but I
no,
am
we
willing to
appreciate
help
that.
her, so.
yeah, that's just communicating, thank you.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have a lot of expenses past her personnel services.
Right, just a little bit of office supplies.
She's not gonna have a lot of
and-
dollars, contractual and stuff.
I don't know what all kind of like memberships she might have or things
Yeah, I don't know.
that we can figure out something, so.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I think that's great, Angie.
Fine, man.
If you guys are open to a little discussion while you're signing, I have another topic.
No, fine.
We did receive our reimbursement from the Secretary of State's office for the presidential preference primary. The total that they sent us was $6,343.98. So we did get reimbursed from that, and we also got reimbursed from USD 243, or 245?
Yeah.
Leland Ridley for
yeah.
the special question, so, and it was around, I think, 6,000 too.
That's something we get every year.
No, that is for the special election, bond election we had, and then the presidential preference primary we had here.
Yeah, I didn't remember getting it.
I'm just a little
Yeah,
goosey about that.
Correct. Normally that's what Yeah, but normally if they exceed much out of that, that's when you really wanna drop back and take a look and see,
Yeah,
flip the page and see how much.
they didn't really give much of an explanation.
That's what's point I'm trying to.
And
Is that the name
then,
I recognize? Sorry.
no, that's fine. The other thing I had was, Steve Hopkins from the hospital board was up and visited with me yesterday, and he had a question on the board application forms that we hand out to everyone. He wondered if there would be something we could add a generic, like, the role of board members. Because he said, in his experience, he's seen where, like, people want to step in and micromanage, or they don't understand the role of a board member. And so he was wondering if that's something that you guys would entertain putting on that application form.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, I said, well,
Pertaining to each position that we would have, or just to the hospital board itself?
if we did it, we'd probably make it a blanket, generic, like, for instance, here's just something he handed out to me, but I said we could make it generic. So the board delegates the day-to-day management to the agency or to the administrator. So like your hospital administrator, your fire administrator, to the department head maybe. The board delegates the day-to-day management to the department head or elected official, something like that. The administrator or department head is guided but not directed by the governing board. I mean, and I don't even know if those would be good ones to put on there, but he thought maybe just a couple of little.
I understand the concern, but I guess, me personally, I don't understand I'm not sure of where that line is.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should play an active role myself, but I don't know how that's set up.
The only thing is most of the board members don't have that expertise.
I understand that, but at least that their opinion should be considered in the major decisions that the administration makes. I don't know how you word that. Maybe I'm out of line.
No, I'm just trying to think of how to.
Because that's what we try to put, try to encourage quality people to get on there to have some input,
Yeah.
is my opinion. So,
And he said he'd be happy to come and visit with each of you too if.
I think it's probably a good idea. I'd just like to be careful on the wording, that's all. Because it lays out a precedent of what those members do.
I think it'd be best if he come in.
If he come, I was in.
10 minutes, that's fine. I think it'd be best if he came in for 8 or 10 minutes, then we could completely understand where he's coming from.
Because there may be an issue. It would be good for him to come in, I think.
Yes, we can. I'll call and let him know. I understood what he was trying to say as well, but.
Yeah. It's not so people don't get on there and expect that they're gonna
Run the show.
be like this board is, I
Right.
guess. I mean, we're here, a lot of times here, except with other elected departments, we kind of have the final say. And I can understand that couldn't be that way, but also I don't want to imply that they don't have a part in the decision making.
They certainly need to have input.
Say. Yeah.
Well, and basically setting policy is, that's across the board for
Right.
everybody.
Right, that's my concern.
Yeah.
Do they
And-
select their own board,
Hospital?
or do we select them?
You select him.
We select somebody like we do all the others.
Yeah.
It's been some time since there's been much change on it.
Well, there's been. I think 4 movements on in the last year.
Yeah, there's, yeah.
Yeah, because you had, I think someone resigned or an unexpired or an open seat,
Yeah.
and then,
We changed one.
yeah, so
Yeah.
you've got several.
I think 3 or 4 movements on that. And as far as I'm concerned, they're well qualified.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a well qualified board.
And he was concerned about, people being able to utilize technology. So, but I don't know how you, I don't know.
Right.
So. But I'll call him, see if he can come in Monday. Maybe he can explain something better to you that might.
Yeah. Our Monday schedule pretty light
So far, but wait till tomorrow. It's always Thursday, it blows up.
Tomorrow Angie will light it up.
Yeah, tomorrow's a big day.
Yeah, we've revised.
It's pretty light so far, that's for sure.
Sometimes I see revisions 2 or 3 times in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could probably see where he's coming from, but maybe we might get an individual or two that might overstep their boundaries just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they wait till the last minute or so, but that's just the way it is. Here's a deal, $1,500 for
Are you,
interpreter fees.
are you multilingual, Don? Could
I'm
you
lucky
help on that?
I'm
maybe?
lucky to get American. $90 an hour.
Yeah, I saw that. Pretty good click, yeah.
It's like all night, probably the same.
Oh, I paid attention in my Spanish class.
Yeah, me too. No habla español.
I didn't have to take any. Where I went there, we didn't have it.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Como estás? Muy bien. That's about all I got out of it. Yeah.
We didn't have to take any foreign language.
And now it would be to everyone's advantage.
Yeah.
That is I do wish I
I'd
could
have
speak
thought this
Spanish.
quicker, wouldn't it?
And I'd unload hay at the feedlots, and all the Hispanic guys would be laughing at me and poking fun at me, and then one of them would say, "Do you have a gancho?" Well, that's a hook, and I'd say, "Right up in the right-hand box." Well, then they're like, "Ooh, this gringo speaks Spanish, we better flush." I didn't know.
Like what you're saying.
And one of the few words that I do, you know.
You know, there's always hard workers.
Yeah.
We go out there 3 or 4 times a year and look at stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
FYI, I don't want Commissioner Knight's to be back, but my surgery has been scheduled for July 15th.
Oh.
I've been
You guys missed
kind
that one right there.
of at their mercy.
It was just time
My
out.
own.
Yeah.
That's real weird. So,
Wade needs to-
Wade got it.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna send.
It was hung
Yeah,
up
I
on.
know, I didn't see
Be
that.
available the following Monday.
No, it was-
Zoom. I don't know that.
So is it like a situation where you'll be down for a few weeks or?
I in the hospital for 4 or 5 days and then in a rehab facility for 2 more weeks. But I'm assuming a rehab facility, I'll be able to have my laptop and get on the internet and do whatever, but,
And you can.
I was hoping to put everything off till night got back, but I can't prolong this anymore.
That link I send you guys every week, are you able to open it on your computer? Okay,
Okay.
so if there was something that, you know, was critical or that he needed to be, he could have access still to see
Right.
how the meeting's going.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I'll be checking in
Well,
as often as I can, but I just,
Can you Zoom?
that's what I mean, I can phone conference or Zoom, send me a link to Zoom or something. I'm assuming Wade's used to doing that, or you can, I don't really
Yeah.
care, but
Yeah.
I'll know more by the end of the week, so.
So you guys, you three will largely be the ones with the budget this year then.
And we can't afford to be sick.
Nope.
I just,
I have the auditor scheduled to be here, I think the last Monday in July to help us get things set up, because we'll have 15 days for the
And-
publication.
if things goes well, like,
Morning.
could be back, but I can't.
Yeah, so I wouldn't rush it.
Morning, guys.
I miss some parts.
You got saving with you today?
Yes, sir. The heavy hitters. Only at the dinner table.
That's so much Spanish I know, no way.
Well, we were told this morning that you were coming in, we just didn't know you were bringing saving.
It's just a surprise visit.
Yeah. Oh, surprises are always good.
Skipper briefed me a little bit yesterday on what they have, but I suggest maybe just bring Sabian in, and Sabian's been working hard on this project. All has to do with I'll lose my terminology, Sabian. Our community improvement program.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
comprehensive, infrastructure improvement plan.
correct.
You want me to jump in now?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're at everybody's leisure, so to speak.
Okay. Well, it's with great excitement and pleasure I get to come forward and share with you that, Coffee County was, announced by the U.S. Department of Transportation that the RAISE grant we submitted for the countywide and city trails network, that we submitted on your behalf, was awarded by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
It's just one.
And to the tune, this would be for planning and design of the improvements. This involved improvements, if you remember, trails networks in each of the 6 cities in the county. It was an award of
That's just one pack.
$2.645 million, 100% federal funded. The zero match to the county and the locals. So this allows the county to begin a process of moving forward with planning and design for the trails network in each of the cities and in the county. This was, if you remember, we submitted it once last year, and I think I told you that the feedback we got, we were not awarded in 2023, but we were told that in the 8 categories that they're scoring, you need to get 6 out of the 8 to be highly scored. We had 5 out of 8 highly scored in 2023. So we did our best to improve the application, and again, the exciting news is that we were successful. So the fact sheet that we put together, just a couple of bullet points. I don't know if you had that with us. Yeah. On kind of the highlights, it does provide 100% grant funds for engineering, design, community engagement, and other grant writing services that could come. This does not include construction, if you remember. What I know from experience with these types of programs, which is very important, I think, to a rural county like Coffee County, is that the what most rural communities have struggled with federal grants is having design far enough along that you can be awarded construction grants. It always comes down to this issue, whether it's federal or state, of, where are you at in the process? And where we were with our community infrastructure plan was we had a planning document. We had 5 priorities, if you remember, but we needed to advance the needle to really be considered more strongly for other funding. The federal RAISE grant program with this administration has been a very, I'll call it a very big advocate for rural. They had, from previous administrations, they had upped the amount of money to 50% of the funds going to rural projects. And then they also included this planning and design category because of the issue I described, where many rural communities don't have the resources to even pay to get a grant application done. And so, so this is a big win. It's a big win for you guys. You should be complimented. This award for Coffee County is one of only 3 awards made in the state of Kansas.
I've seen it going, or one of 3 in Kansas.
One of 3 in Kansas. The other, Bobby and I were just talking about, the other 2 was the Potawatomi band up north, and then the city of Topeka. And I believe in each case, I know in Topeka for sure, they're looking at something similar to what you're doing. People are trying to get more connections with active transportation, whether it be bikes, walking. In some of the cities it might be Segway use, or these things are becoming more and more attractive to quality of life issues for people. I know that it's been an issue in Coffee County that you're trying to expand housing in the different areas of the county. And people that want to move to communities like to have these kind of amenities. Can we walk safely? Can we bike safely? Do we have choices on a short trip rather than taking our car? And so this application was very, very well received. As you see on the sheet here, the next steps, the county you'll be receiving an award. It'll come to you all, a letter of award. And then there will be a request to have a Zoom meeting or a video meeting with the U.S. Department of Transportation. In that meeting, they'll begin to line out kind of the steps that we need to move forward. We kind of summarized them here. There will be a grant agreement process that the county will sign with the U.S. Department of Transportation. My general statement there is they'll provide you a federal grant agreement, and then your attorneys, Wade and others, can look that over. There'll be a little bit of back and forth, but it's pretty much their standard agreement. The thought we had is, as your county engineer, we could then, once we maybe are involved in some of that negotiation, a grant administrator would be helpful, because there's also a lot of paperwork that comes with these federal grants. So,
And who selects that administrator?
What's that?
A grant administrator would be selected to handle compliance and reporting of the grant funds. Who selects that person?
So the county would select that person.
Okay.
But I'll make a suggestion that as your county engineer, since we could move forward with the design of this work, we could bring a grant administrator in within our work. It's all going to be within this budget, okay? But we could bring them in so we have a grant administrator that's handling the paperwork and handling all that while we do the planning and design and community engagement.
And that's all covered through this?
Yes, it would be funded through the 2.645 million.
Okay.
That's correct.
And then any further grant writing would be done by you?
Yes.
By your firm?
Yes.
I think, and that the expertise involved would be
Yeah, I do too.
necessary, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I will tell you, Bobby asked me this question. We as a firm, we've done some grant administration on that side. I would welcome it's a lot of paperwork. So,
We've
and
had Garrett before, and I don't know if that's where I was going with that question. Are we gonna bring them on board, or is it strictly through
I-
CFS, you think?
With your all's, I'll say, approval, I would like to reach out to him and have a discussion about how we might, work together to do that.
And I don't have a problem with that,
Yeah,
I,
that'd be
EUC
great.
one.
Yeah.
That's the best, I think, best choice.
Okay.
So,
That'd be great.
But I will say this, you know, as you all know, the federal government doesn't move at lightning speed. So I would expect, my experience has been this grant agreement might take 3 to 4 months to just the back and forth and getting it resolved. And at that point, when the grant agreement is in place, then we can start real work. But up to that point, we can assist you in this process of getting the grant agreement done. But primarily, at first, Wade, the attorney, would be the one looking at the grant agreement, and then we would go from there.
Okay.
So,
That sounds like a feasible course to me.
I think the exciting thing is we probably ought to put out some sort of a press release this is a big deal, it's a big win. At your direction, if you'd like, we can go to the cities, and I think they would be excited to hear this.
I was gonna
yeah.
say, who will make contact with the cities? Will it be?
I'll do it at your, direction, or if you guys want to do it, it doesn't matter to me.
But you had contact with the cities?
We have,
Ongoing, have you not?
Yes,
through this?
yeah. They were aware of the application.
Sure.
You could probably, I'm sure you could do a better job than some of us explaining everything to the city,
Yeah, I know.
exactly what it is.
I know in my case, that would be the case.
Yeah.
I think that.
Your firm is kind of in the cheerleader, so to speak, of this
Yeah.
entire project.
Yeah.
I'd kind of like to remain it that way, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
And Skipper Running's been involved as well too,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
And, a press release, I was just kind of leaning toward that, so do we want Andy to get ahold of Peterson to pass on this information? Do you want to do it?
But may I hate to be a Debbie Downer, let's
No,
give it
that's
a day or two and see what,
Okay.
the Fed probably has requirements on, what can be said as far as releases.
Oh,
yeah.
Just, I ain't trying to be a
Yeah,
Debbie Downer.
wait for the letter.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we
need
got
to know
a
that.
limited press release today, we can't really help that. but-
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
yeah.
We'll follow your.
We'll get the
we'll
letter.
follow your lead on that.
Yeah, but then, I will say I am taking a vacation with my wife the week after the 4th of July, so we'll get this covered in July, but, as we get the letter in, we'll kind of sort through that. I'll work with Bobby and we'll get the word out.
And you guys will work with the city, I continue to work with the city and be their contacts.
Yes, we'd be happy to do that. Yeah.
Great.
The engineer that's gonna be taking place in all this saving, what's gonna be the charge on that, or the expense of
The 2.645 million will go for all the planning and all the design,
all the planning, all the design?
and the public engagement and the grant administration. Everything comes out of the 2.645 million.
So with that grant administration being put into place, then the next step would be to write the grants for construction, and that would give us that would give you a better chance of.
Yeah, no, you're right on point, Commissioner. There would be, I would say what it will do is, once we actually get underway with work, and there's a notice to proceed, let's just say that comes in the 4th quarter of this year,
Right.
then that tees us up for 2025, where then we can begin to look at individual projects. You're probably not gonna ask for all of it. I would think that's a tougher ask when you're talking about construction dollars.
Sure.
But you could say all of a sudden, say we want to advance, I'm gonna just pick one, but let's just say we want to advance the trail between Burleson and Newstrong. I'm just picking that one.
Right.
Then we might prioritize these segments and say, okay, or it's Waverly. The Waverly routes, we want to do that one. Let's go after construction dollars for that.
So each project would be a separate grant,
That's how I would envision it at this point in
No,
time. Back then. Now, again, we may get some feedback that they would be more pleased to see us do it all in one bundle. We'll see how the U.S. Department of Transportation communicates with us as we get into this project.
What do you expect that grant to be, an 80-20? 80-20?
On the construction? It also could be up to 100%. I would say though that this state of Kansas has created what's called the Kansas Infrastructure Hub, where the state of Kansas has made $200 million available to local communities to use as match money. So I think as we look at the construction down the road, you may want to look at doing a grant application with the Kansas Infrastructure Hub, because any kind of match money does kind of help your application when it comes to construction. It's kind of skin in the game.
Sure.
But then the burden doesn't solely fall on the county or a city.
That help would come from the state.
It could come from the state.
It could come from
And it could be that you do, say you ask for, 10% from the state and maybe the local does 5%. But all of a sudden you got a little skin in the game. Now again, I want to be clear, rural grants can be up to 100%. So it doesn't mean you have to do that. It just is an avenue to maybe show you're leveraging some local dollars to
Might
do a
help my
project.
chances.
Yes.
I know you probably don't know when you'd be down in Leroy or any other city. I know the next meeting in Leroy, I can't attend, but, so, and I don't have to be there either, but.
No, I think anytime, even if I'm representative, you don't have to be there, but if you guys are there, or it just lends credibility to, I mean, you guys backed it. I mean, this is how it happened, was you said, go forward. I appreciate saying we were the big advocates, and we were, because it was a priority to your communities. But, at the end of the day, you gave us the authority to put this in on your behalf, so, I take that very seriously, so. I have to go back and look at all when they had their meetings, because it's been a while and sometimes they don't always meet. But I think through July we'll get with all of them once we kind of get more information, and we'll share some of the same stuff. So, but congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks for your work.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your work.
Everybody.
My vision was, on this was, the cities start out with trails, if you will, or avenues, if you will, to eventually link up. It's impossible at all to even link up city to city to city. I was seeing that decades away maybe, but, the original intent was, because I drive city of Burlington, and I'm not gonna tell them where they need to put a trail, or where they should, or whatever. I mean, it would help in any way, shape, or form, but I drive some of these outer streets, and, you got kids on bicycles, and then there's big ditches off to the side, and you gotta stop, and the cars go by. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
I've been seeing more and more kids out on bicycles, which really excites me, because apparently they're all on their phones and playing video games.
Yeah.
And actually, I did just yesterday, coming back from Nuisance, looking at a project. A couple of kids were headed to Burlington to go swimming from New Strong on their bicycles. It was almost 100 already. So I picked them up on top of the dam and threw the bicycle truck and brought them to town. So,
Well, and if you
there's value in it.
Yeah, and if you remember, I mean, it may sound far-fetched, but back when we were doing the plan, your neighboring counties have trail networks too.
Oh, yeah.
And so, there's nothing wrong with thinking broader and how this all connects, because there's tours, people actually, cyclist clubs come and do this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I think Franklin County's got one from, Ottawa to Garnett, or maybe further south, but I know that trail is used all the time there's a lot of people out on that trail.
Well, and again, I think I may have mentioned to you, our firm is the one doing the Flint Hills Trail. That's 116 miles, and I believe we're 65% complete. So,
You got the one in Osage County too, right?
Yes, yeah. So I mean, this, to your point, I think people are looking for. I don't think it's as simple as some people who judge and say, "Well, I only saw 3 people." Well, it's more about the opportunity that can be provided that changes how people can start to want to recreate or just commute. And so, I think it's a great step forward.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Anyway,
Glad to hear it.
that's why I made the trip.
You act really happy.
It's pretty, when I got the call, because Bobby got the call first, I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, this is amazing.
No, it's great, guys.
Yeah.
Are you on a pre-con today?
What's that?
Are you on a pre-construction for 50 today?
Yes.
Yes, okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then
I
I,
got a pre-construction for full 50 today at 10.
you know, I think Kenny Blair of our office, so I've got a team of folks that's working on that. I think they're gonna be down for that.
Okay.
I think they're gonna be down for that, because they were ones more involved in the design and all that.
Okay.
There's one thing I talked to Sim about, this came up yesterday as well, just out of the blue. So there's a project, a company that was trying to work a project with Wichita. They're a food processing manufacturer. And they want to build a 200,000 square foot building, but they have had site issues. They have not been able to find an adequate site. So the Kansas Commerce rep who's handling that project sent over the information and asked if we had anything. I said, yeah, possibly. We could fit he gave the specs of how much water and electricity and all that. I said, yeah, we could possibly do something. So he sent over the full specs, and I've looked at them. I would like to, if y'all are okay, make a pitch to this, but my pitch would be to locate this 200,000 square foot factory on the western edge of the KSMC site. The convenience for us is I know what we can do now, and it'd be pretty easy to make a fast pitch I have until Tuesday to respond to the RFI. And so I'm asking I guess, permission to.
Would that be then Burns and Mac as kind of the project lead, so to speak? Would that be to ask for them then, more than us, or no?
Well,
Because they're helping us develop the site, so is there even, the feasibility part is, for me, with the water situation, the power situation, is even a possibility, I guess, is what my mind is.
that would be my immediate next step, if you say yes, is to get Burns and Mac and Saban and start to produce what's needed to respond.
Yeah, again, I don't know what the serviceability would be there after TEM and everybody else is involved.
I mean, my general comment would be yes, because of where we're at in the planning for TEM right now. All along, we've been accounting for a growth factor in these numbers. So whether it be water, sewer,
Right.
We were always looking at the 265 acres, not just at least we were.
Right.
And then the numbers that we've been getting from TEM, we put a growth on that. Because we have to,
For this.
have to account for things like this.
That wouldn't interfere with the project that's.
No, because this west property, as Bobby said, is on the other side of the creek.
Oh,
If you
okay,
remember, we
okay.
left that property alone kind of for future. One of the reasons we left that alone at the time was if it was tied to TEM, there may have been the need for a bridge across the creek, which adds cost to the project.
So the access would be a mile over,
It'd be off the Links Road.
off Links Road,
Yeah.
right?
Now, the benefit would be that if the KSMC CHIPS Act project as it moves forward, we have improvements to Links Road already accounted for. And we've also already considered that there needs to be an entrance, some sort of a entrance to that other acreage over on that side. So,
Right.
and we've surveyed it. So that was something you had us do a long time ago.
In the very beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we should be able to make a professional response, and that's what other communities can't do.
Yeah.
Because you've made the investment now and all this work and planning for that site, we can play big boy now and court other industries.
We're steps ahead
That's right.
because of that.
I would say go ahead and proceed.
I don't have an objection, but again, I guess my mind immediately goes to serviceability as water, electric, power, because I know all those are things that Carl Wyatt presented here that, the technical aspect of all that
I think,
is above me.
so,
But I guess my only other thought was, the city of Brunswick's got the industrial parks out of town, and you have should these people approach them? Is that an avenue? It's just a question, not a,
Yeah, they have requirements, and some of them can only be met at Vito. They just can't,
okay.
can't be met anywhere else.
Okay, okay.
Like proximity.
They're looking at transportation?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, well,
They have 11 trucks a day.
okay. So that'd be, I understand. That'd be
Yeah.
coming off I-35.
That's right, that's right.
Or 75.
Okay.
And I'm just to share these with y'all so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about, but that's what the company sent over as far as specs. But you'll see, once you read them, that we're very within our ability to service their needs.
that would seem to make the most sense to go for the far corner.
I think too, it's important to note that, again, you know, not to speak for Bobby, but this is kind of procedural. That doesn't mean we're gonna get, he's just trying to put together a proposal
Yeah.
that says,
yeah.
this is how we can help you.
This is a possibility.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
So,
I guess I wouldn't want to give them false hope if the design of that site can't meet
Yeah.
the needs of everything that's already gonna happen and
Yeah.
adding.
again, I would say this, we're at a point where we've already accounted for growth. And so, these numbers just get put into the mix.
Okay.
So, you know, again, it doesn't,
Back to the water, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to, but that 6 million gallon that was,
yeah,
that's part of that, I mean, that was
Part of the future.
part of the future.
3 million of its future.
3
Right,
million
right.
of its future, and we're already talking beyond that.
Yeah.
I'm just being, I don't wanna get
Right.
into too much more now, but we're talking beyond that because at some point, the goal is you gotta look at the whole thing being built out, and that includes this west side. So I guess that's the best assurance I can give you at this point,
Okay.
is we're looking beyond that.
So back to Tom's question on Burns and Mac, I mean, is that something that they need to be, I mean, is that, where do they fit in?
I think,
Or-
my 2 cents, I think where Bobby was headed, where maybe Tom was headed, and when we just talked this morning about this, because it just came to
Sure,
him.
yeah,
So,
sure.
but I think that it makes sense because we're contracted to help you on the KSMC site.
Right.
This acreage is the KSMC site. Burns and Mac is under, now, you know, this might be a, you know, something we can assist with right now.
Okay,
You know, because we're working for you on that site. It'd be different if Bobby, I mean, again, if he picked a site somewhere else in the county, we're not working on another location right now on your map.
Okay, I think out loud sometimes and just so that, again, we've contracted Burns and Max as we are a developer, they are assisting us in being that developer, and that encompasses that in my mind. So am I correct in that thought?
We're in agreement, that's
Okay.
exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just wanna
Yeah.
proceed correctly.
And I, you know, I'll just share our involvement, because the way this is working is, they're kind of your program manager,
Right.
and when they need some engineering assistance, even though they're an engineering firm, they'll turn to us as a county and say,
Right.
okay, well, you know, let's work together to do this.
Right.
That's, so,
And that's
we're
fine.
available to do that.
Okay, great.
That's what we want.
very good.
Yeah, very good.
All right.
Well, that's exciting news, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe a good proposal, Bobby.
No,
I'm kidding. No, I'm not kidding, but I am.
Well, all that matters at the end is who won and who lost.
That's right, that's right.
All right,
Thank
you,
Thank
man.
Thank you,
Thanks a
guys.
lot.
Thanks, David.
All right.
Here's a voucher. And I know that they've had at least 2 meetings on the solar deal. But here's one that, we're charged for 20 hours at $153,000.
For us.
Are we in the process of spending public money on the solar deal? This says a partial billing of professional planning service for the development of commercial solar energy conversion, system regulation, and general planning related consultation for the Coffee County, Kansas through May 24. I wonder how many hours there's been since then.
I don't know how often she uses.
I'm sorry.
I think Heidi,
I would know that
Heidi would,
probably.
right.
But they needed a professional. As much discussion has been going into this, I don't doubt you're not seeing that. I don't doubt that you are seeing that, I should say. I worded that wrong, but it's, until those regs are in place, you're gonna be a cost associated with it, because you want the legal side of it covered as well, so, and that's his expertise. And he's sat in on a lot of meetings, he spent a lot of time on it.
But that's through May 24th. I just wonder how much more has already been spent and how much more will be spent later.
I don't see we have much choice.
So that would have been going on, during the time that we were having the meetings for the zoning.
He's been coming to meetings
Everything covered.
Right, right,
and taking phone calls, and
right.
whether it be from Heidi or whether it be from a zoning board member, he's been taking calls. I do know that. I think it's very important.
And there's going to have to be more zoning done on this project north sometime, will there not have to be?
Yes,
And I would assume that he'd be very valuable on
yes,
that project also.
yes. And she's working with him now to, for the SSM at airport, there was a little hoopla there that has to be remedied so that they can proceed sooner as opposed to later. So
I think maybe they've got a solution found to that. Angie, this, one to the city of Burlington, these first half and second half of this budget, that's for the Parks Rec, is it?
Yeah. In June is when we pay all cities their parks and recs and infrastructure money.
Okay. I figured that's what it was, what it should be.
That's the second half of that.
Yep.
Yep.
Here's a K-90 expense for, if they're gonna build a runway someplace, you know where they build some type of a run?
Oh,
The dog
for the
run.
dog?
Huh?
Probably at the handler's house, I would assume.
normally is where they're at. They do build dog runs for the handlers because those dogs are, a one-person dog. They don't share
Yeah.
the dog.
I don't have any problem with it. I was just curious where they built that run.
I'm not sure who the handler is right now.
Okay. I knew, like,
I don't know if it's not Garen, is it?
I don't know, I can ask Jeremy. Because I know they contacted him to do it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
When you gonna run for governor?
Who?
Well, that didn't take long. What an idea.
You know what's gonna happen now though, right? Did I even ask that question? It's gonna be all over town by the end of the week, or by the end of the month.
I've heard.
Angie's running for governor.
Oh, great.
That's what's gonna happen, you know.
I thought on the internet, gotta be true.
Mhm.
I'm not moving fast enough.
No, you're moving flying fast. Those are all those city budgets all in, I mean,
Yeah.
that'll take too long.
Adds up to money, don't it? That's good though, they're part of the county.
Yeah. And this money was spent with
So that our computer department bills the sheriff's department for technology work done.
Can I see that invoice?
This one here. She wants to look at it on.
They bought equipment. Yeah, so Bradford UPS is for the sheriff's office, and so the sheriff's office, register deed, sheriff's office, me, we reimburse,
Okay, that's what
or pay it out of our department.
okay.
So that's what that is, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
So if we're having a pre-construction on 150 today, I mean, the work that we cranking up here pretty quick.
Yeah.
I can't remember the late start date, I think it was around July 15th. It was in July sometime.
Bill for a battery from Cromati for $5.98, that must be for key fob or something. I want some of their batteries, if they got other batteries. They sucks.
Just about have all the budgets. The ones I don't have are waived.
Okay.
I'll help Heidi with hers, and then
You got the road and bridge and the sheriff's farm.
everybody. And I'm gonna put employee benefits in here after things post for this month, because I've been watching it every month, and I wanna make sure that I'm on target, because we were using a little bit more this year from some employees who had some issues, so.
Okay,
But otherwise, we've got everybody, so.
that's good. Do you have any major changes in
Not
those,
expense pretty high.
No,
Yeah, it is.
I think,
percentage?
yeah, no, I think, mostly it's just allowing for any increase in salaries for most people.
Okay.
Most people have been in to visit with you guys. Theirs has pretty well either stayed the same or minimal increase. So I think it's looking pretty good so
I was
far.
just curious if anything
Yeah, nothing
jumped out
stuck
at you
out
or
at me.
nothing. Okay.
Unless I overlooked something, but
No,
no.
that's fine. I was just
Thank you.
curious what you noticed so far. So these vouchers come in from all the businesses, Angie, then does your office prepare all of this portion of it?
A lot of attorneys for
What are you
$14.
talking about?
Who does this?
Yeah, we do,
That's what I figured surely it was.
yeah. And we scan in the invoices so they're on record
I see.
and enter in all of that information on the voucher.
Okay. Okay. I was sure that's how it had to work, but I just trying to understand a little more background.
Yep. And then Road Bridge, they do their own,
Uh-huh.
but we handle all of the departments.
Okay.
HR partners, you know, their rate's $175 an hour.
Pretty good wage, huh?
It is.
Not too bad.
Wish I could get that once in a while.
I do every now and then, but it requires a machine and fuel.
One thing I did learn in the phone business is you cannot bill 8 hour day.
You just can't do it,
You
can you?
can't.
Yeah.
It's virtually impossible.
Well, that's what it was looking like their Cooksville before. They brought a pressure tank or something, had a half-hour installation. Well, you know, it took them half an hour to put it in, so what happens, they going and coming, and, you know, so, yeah, you're not, you don't take your
I'm
hours.
not gonna pay you for the trip over,
Yeah,
and the trip back. Or, oh, I forgot a part.
yeah, yeah.
Concrete business over there.
You come to the job and do it fair by the
The
job.
only thing I don't like about it is the day you send them over there.
See,
You got
Tim
100 yards on
Johnson's
call.
invoice there.
Takes
You
off
see-
range, you gotta cancel the entire
You
day.
see Tim very often, he calls for,
Pay him to come
He
back.
calls once in a while. I don't talk to Tim often.
I get probably a call every 2 or 3 weeks.
Lead mechanic and I spent from 8:30, or actually he went over there at 8:30.
Yeah.
Till 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, get Shell Rock Township's truck died on the road to that quarry over there, had the road blocked.
Oh, my.
And I think there is another source in there, or another path in there that is, we were, and it did not die in a good spot. I don't even know how Wrecker would have got drug out of there if he gave up, but the exact same type of engine and everything that we run in our trucks, and it had something wrong in it. We've never had it happen in millions upon millions of miles. My guy finally figured it out. He was getting pretty frustrated.
What was it, computer, brain, I mean,
It was actually like a bypass valve
Oh.
in the fuel system, and it stuck open, and we weren't getting enough fuel pressure for it to run. And just tried 2 different pumps and tried this and tried that, and just could not figure out why it wasn't building fuel pressure. And the little valve about that long, that we didn't even know was in the system.
simple after your county.
Yeah. But I'm not that full there.
It's always something, it's always something.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you know, it was, but I mean, Oh, they'd have been looking at $1,500 getting this truck drug out of there and taking it somewhere else to go. I'm really glad we could get it going.
Yeah.
Here's an invoice where economic development, Bobby's paid 50% of those two billboards. Yeah, switches.
Yeah, run out of ink.
I had one quit last month, so.
I think the state gave us to what, September the 9th or something to
Yeah.
have something
And
done.
he said he was gonna, Bobby was gonna contact him, let him know.
Let them know.
We were in the process, so
Yeah.
that was good.
That should eliminate any problems.
I would think.
Or generally, if they are aware that you're,
Yeah, I think they'd be cooperative about that, just 'cause don't know what the delay was gonna be for the company to be able to do it, was Bobby's concern, I believe. He had contacted me about that. All of this stuff goes in that first basket. Getting down to the last pile here. This pen, Bob must have left that pen. That's good.
Thank you.
And these checks do not have to be in this envelope. I can send them back to you.
purposes.
That is.
This is here to the treasurer's office.
But this is part of that, I mean, not that I didn't expect a bill from it, you know. Well, this is not that. I thought it was, the task force that Virgin Mac had issued, but it's not. Okay. Well, I'm not sure why we're still billing on that. Yeah. We already sold the property, we should be done, in my opinion. Therefore, yes.
Have you heard anything from SSN as far as when you might?
Like I said, they ran a little bit of a football. Some zoning that Heidi was getting up for us to try and expedite.
I think she found a fairly quick solution, or she had to check with him.
Is that the last one done?
We got one here.
Oh, okay.
I was looking at.
You got two. One's the
Oh. Do you need some help with something?
I didn't know you had a meeting, so I wanted to give you time sheet, but I thought you were meeting.
Okay. Tom, do you have a minute? Someone's here to see you.
Okay.
Maxine, I think. Maxine, right? I'm sorry, Maxine? Yes. Maxine Merriman.
Okay.
Do you have a moment to meet with her?
Sure.
She didn't want to come in, she just wanted to meet with you personally.
Okay. So I'm like, in a mode today because of my back. I can't stand to wear shoes.
Oh.
So I gotta put my shoes on real quick. I'm exposing my stuff.
We're okay.
Sorry, I just,
You said that it's sealed terribly tight.
oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's like you're, feel like 2 loaves of bread or something. I don't know how to say it. It's bad. It's horrible. And you're just sitting in this chair, it just catches once in a while, and it's like going to shoot through the ceiling.
So, we're probably other than I expect.
We need to have a conversation, I think, but I mean, I could be wrong. But what I can do is, so that you guys aren't waiting on me, pass this one off.
You want me just to set this aside for now?
No, it's all right. Go ahead and pass it on, put it in the basket, and I'll
Go
have
ahead
a
and sign it.
conversation.
Sign it, you think? Okay.
Huh?
Put that in the stroll on.
I think his concern is he thought that,
I'm sorry?
I think you kind of thought we should have already been billed for it. I don't know.
This goes back in June of 23.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah. Maxine, guys, this is Maxine Berry from the City Council of Burlington.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good,
I have a
thank
request, and I'm just a commissioner, so I can't make a decision.
you. He was my contact.
Okay.
I'm on the city council, and my big thing is nuisance properties, and not doing well on that, but what I have proposed 3 different times to the city council was the removal of tires, a one-time deal, because there are, and I know there's a cost involved with that, and that's where I'm getting my blowback from Stan on this, is the cost. I was wondering if it would be something that the county commissioners would want to go in and share the cost on, because if we could get rid of even 50% of the tires that are on people's property, that would help us look better, because we don't look good.
How many tires, what kind of numbers?
We'd have to set parameters on that, on how many we would pick up, you know, and we wouldn't pick up like the big humongous ones, but like auto tires. So we would set parameters, let people know this is a one-time deal.
And they're taken to the landfill, correct?
I don't, like I say, I've gotten so much blowback on this that from the council, I haven't gotten too far. Somebody recommended that, you know, if we could get the county commissioners involved and maybe cost sharing.
Well, there's a charge for disposal.
Correct, and I know that.
Well, there's a charge for us to dispose of them as well, and if I remember correctly, I had to get up with Brian Durst again on that, but, I mean, it's
Yeah, they're not.
well, it's a kind of a break-even situation with the county and who we contract, if I remember correctly, and I don't know if Angie remembers or not, but we've had this discussion on the tires before and the recycling, or the company that actually picks them up, but it's almost, it's like it's a break-even or we lose a little bit or something like that.
And I know there may be a loss, and I
Yeah,
realize
they're
that.
not disposed of there, yeah.
And that's why people have them sitting on their lawn, is because of the cost of disposal.
It's like $2.
$2 a tire, yeah, I was gonna say $2 a tire is 2 or 3, something.
I think it's $2.
These are tires that are in the city of Burlington.
Correct. And we were thinking a one-shot deal, let people know it's gonna be a one-shot deal, you know, like for this, cleanup, have them out by the roadside by such and such a date. They can't be larger than whatever, or you can't set more than 20, 25 tires out or whatever, but we set tight parameters, we stick to them. So I didn't know I'd be talking before you guys, but thank you. Thanks, Tom.
Well,
I know.
again, I'm a one-person deal here, so I mean,
It's like on the council, yeah.
Exactly. I am not opposed to working out something. I really am not. I don't know. I would probably like to talk to Ryan Dirks first to see what his thoughts are, because he's in charge of the landfill, and it's just me thinking out loud.
No, I
Right,
agree.
because
Ryan needs to be involved in the conversation.
Yeah, and I know it's not something that's gonna happen instantaneously.
Disposing of those tires would basically come out of their budget. So, I mean, if you go out there with, end up with 100 tires, and it's gonna have to come out of his budget. So I would probably like a conversation with him first. I think that'd be advisable for us, and then as a
Oh, yes,
commission,
yes.
and, you know.
And at least that's more progress than I'm getting from the city council.
And I'm not opposed to it at all. I mean,
I'm not either, but I think the first responsibility is Burlington.
Well, I
Burlington
mean,
City.
my thought,
Well,
was
I
gonna
mean-
be, we're gonna do cities, then
Oh,
if we
any
did
city.
it, if we did it, my thought
Say
is,
say again.
if we're gonna do it, then we'd ought to offer that deal to all the cities. Am I out of
Oh,
line?
No, you're
No,
not.
you're not out.
I mean, because I think each city probably has its own, or each city has the same problem as
Yeah.
far as
I know that,
nuisance properties or blights or tires. So
yeah, there was
you're not exempt, I'll put it that way.
yeah, conversation, there was conversation at the New Strong City Council last meeting about tires. Pardon me?
And how did that go?
Well, they were telling the people they had to get rid of them or they were gonna fine them. You know,
And-
But then,
or that was, I don't know what happened, but
Yeah.
that was the conversation.
the only pushback I can see on this is, that, you know, like, Bar Tire, when he takes and he sells you a new set of tires, he has to charge you a disposal fee.
Correct.
So, I can see pushback from that,
Yeah.
or for lack of better terminology, a responsible individual that takes care of his own issues, you know.
And the same way with, and the same way with, Sturridge Service out there on Old 50. I mean, Nathan goes through a ton of tires and it's up to him to take care of.
Yeah, I don't,
He pays for disposal.
yeah, I
He
don't know
pays-
that
he pays-
those
he pays-
companies make much money on the disposal. If they do, it'd be
Yeah.
a little bit of handling. I mean, I don't think they're charging a bunch more than it's cost them to get rid of them,
No,
but.
they're not, they're charging the same fee as what city landfill's charging,
Yeah.
where they just take a truckload out at a time
Yeah.
and be done with it, so.
Yeah,
That would
And-
be the biggest concern I could see, Maxine.
But I appreciate any help. Can I give you my,
Uh-huh.
thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for your time, I appreciate it.
Thank
you.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Take care.
Topic for discussion, for sure.
Yeah.
But again, we'll talk with Dirks first.
yeah, and a little more thought process about how it affect everything and.
Because it's like everything, you start a.
Let's
set
save
precedent.
Let's save our tires till the county disposal week, you know?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then that would overload.
Because they don't, on citywide cleanup, they don't take tires.
Right,
Right,
right.
right,
And they're in my summer.
yeah, right.
On this invoice here from Cliff Flat Global, I know you're looking at pretty close, 75% of this goes back in to 70, to 23. We need to have Bobby come down. You would have thought that we've already paid for that.
Well, it's on the airport is where my mind is, and we sold that land to them. I didn't know our, engineering services were still a necessity for them. I thought we were, I can have him come up if you want, or
I think
we can just have a talk.
I would have thought we'd already taken care of this, but that's, I don't recall.
Yeah, some of it goes back to 23, but we sold that.
Actually, all of it's back.
A year
to
ago.
20.
We sold that a year ago.
Yeah.
When it was transferred.
Yeah.
I'd
And I
like
do
to-
know I do know we're getting a grant to pay for some of that, for that frontage road. So we need to have a discussion with him whether we can do that grant.
So would that be
I'm thinking out.
Saban that would have an answer for that, or about the grant, or who?
Probably.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I bet Bobby would know
I don't know.
somewhat on that. I don't think it hurt for him to come up, if he's available, come up and talk to us about it. That took $44,000 bill, like I said, 75% of it's back into 23.
Through March 31st.
I wouldn't think they'd be waiting that long to send a bill out.
I put a message into that bill is the last of that basket,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you wanna just
I have,
lay it aside or what
I
we
can.
wanna do.
I'll just lay it right here.
Okay.
That's that basket.
Yeah, and this is,
All that there will start doing that.
that goes in that basket.
All this.
Steve? So is all of this your stuff on
Yeah, I haven't touched it yet,
the, okay,
so, yeah, don't touch this.
don't run off the bed.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
How are you, Bobby?
How are you?
There you are. Sabian's last bill, a lot of this is out there at the airport on SSM after we sold the property to them, which was coming up on a year ago.
Yes, sir.
I guess when I just assumed that our involvement is paying for any sort of site development had dropped off.
No, sir. And Saban's still here too, but about a year ago,
Because we got site design for frontage road and wastewater design.
the commissioners approved $60,000 worth of engineering, and he billed for that. It was to be reimbursed by SSM on their closing. I thought Joe Serrano had touched on this last week, but maybe he didn't. I didn't listen to the video, but you will be reimbursed that $60,000 plus an additional $100,000 for a host of other little minor expenses that have been incurred over the past 2 or 3 years.
Okay, all right. And that probably is correct, but a lot comes through here sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of it don't stick, so.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't trying to put you on the spot,
Yes.
just making sure we're all on the same page.
Yes, sir. I would, as
So we're
a,
gonna be reimbursed $100,000
yes, sir.
on that frontage road?
You'll be reimbursed about 170 grand in total.
No kidding.
That comes out of the
bill.
close.
Most of it goes back to 23, so it is a bill that we haven't paid.
That's correct.
We're not questioning, I mean, we're
Just trying to know where we're at, you know.
I can't understand why some company would wait a year and a half to bill us.
Well, I've been holding those bills for a long time because there was a point at which, just being blunt, there were so many bills coming in from different people. There was the question of, is this legit or is this not legit? So I just cut them off. I'll just pretty much at the turn of the year, we just quit paying people.
Because I noticed that runs through March the 24th, so.
That's right.
It's been a few months.
A year ago, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
right.
23, actually.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that's where we're at is, I mean, as far as engineering for SSM at the airport, when do our, engineering obligations drop off?
If you get another bill for engineering, fight it. There should be nothing else coming, unless they come up here and tell you that there's, hey, I expect some engineering.
Right. Well, they present them to you, so when you get them, you bring it to us if you would, and then
Absolutely.
we can all have a talk about that. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Bobby Skipper's saying there are no other bills coming from engineering that I know about.
Okay, all right.
Right.
Good. But these are part of our responsibilities for SSM prior to selling, so.
Yes, sir.
And, okay, all right.
There was a sources and uses page that Greg Barnberg sent over, copied you and me on it,
That's the first.
that had all the closing expenses on what money would be reimbursed. I think that'd be helpful.
That's been far enough back that I probably,
I couldn't see anything on that.
I've got the other.
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything in it, and I thought it was new.
make sure we're all on the same page.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank you,
Bobby.
Bobby.
Thank y'all.
Okay.
I had a quick break, didn't know if you need anything, I've got court, so I'll just passing through.
Not that I know of.
Okay, so far.
Do you have anything for us today?
No, not that I can,
Everything gone real smooth so far this morning.
maybe it's because I wasn't here.
Usually the case.
I didn't want to say that.
Did Holly Myers get a hold of you? Have you had,
I talked to her, a couple of times, I
Okay.
think,
that's
they're working on that issue.
Okay, all right. Very good.
I reached out to, the attorney, got a little information, so it's still
Okay.
being sorted.
I just had a word with her yesterday and anyway. Yeah.
Okay. Outside of that, I don't, you may see an update on the agenda for Monday at 10 o'clock from 10 to 11. The development agreement is going to be brought before you once again by Burns and Mac and all the Saban, Joe Serrano, and it's still a work in progress, but it has a lot more bones to it than it did the last time you saw it. So
Okay.
the same thing you saw before. So by Friday, the most recent draft version of that will be sent your way. So make sure over the weekend you just have a chance to sit down and look at it. So on Monday when it gets brought up, it's not something you're not familiar with.
Okay. Okay.
Just FYI.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
Good luck today.
Good luck.
Yeah. Just a long day and I'm not feeling the best. I'm
That makes it older.
cold meds. So
Take care.
Tires are getting a little expensive.
They are. For lawnmowers and everything.
Oh. Well, it seems odd to me, like, I haven't bought any recently, but like wheel-loaded tires or tires for a telehandler or something, they're not near as expensive as you think they are.
Is that right?
They're nothing compared to an ag tire. I shouldn't say nothing,
Right,
but
right.
way less. And I just, I'm like, parts for trucks, you know, if it's a part that's like a cab part or something that no aftermarket company makes, then they can be way more expensive than
Yeah.
parts that you can buy, like brake drums and shoes and shocks and suspension parts and stuff that you can get from other people. But sometimes even so, the dealers are still way higher on some of the common parts, but a lot of times not.
Looks like they're building a little bit of inventory.
Yeah. Inventory stock, yeah.
Yeah.
Couplers, air covers,
Yeah.
hydraulic trees.
Saving them, chasing them down.
Restocking or whatever possibly.
Do a little bit of restocking there, Kristen Hartford.
Yeah.
You see a media comment?
I can't remember.
What was it?
115,818. I just wondered, Road and Bridge, what to do with media comments. MT Networks does their internet down there, don't they? $537.
$137?
Five.
Oh, 500.
Or maybe that's landfill.
No. Have you seen it yet?
It's awesome.
What's your check, what's your check?
105818. Media phone? Yeah.
So these, there, so before we jack these all up, they start in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
I was signing through there, and it's like, I thought MT Networks was their internet provider.
No, it is. What is that? Yeah, it was 37, are they paying in advance?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I'll talk to Ryan later. I mean, it's not very explanatory.
Imagine there's a reason for it, but it is something different than that.
Oh, no.
There's probably an explanation, I was just curious.
I'm sure
what-
they did,
Yeah, what it
but yeah.
was. Okay.
Okay, you're done with these, right?
Yes.
I'll be talking to him later. Just seems like an awful lot for them. 'Cause I know they, the TVs, they don't like this weather. I thought their internet was through MT Network.
Yeah, so there was a $500 change to the bill when it's written,
Yeah.
scratched out.
I was curious as to why. I don't remember seeing one that big.
Yeah, I did sign it.
Mediacom coming through. I hope quick grant thing goes through for Jacobsburg.
Yeah.
Sounds like it should.
Then would your new house be in that also?
Mine sounds up for us.
Yeah, and that.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
That's your house number.
Right.
And they don't, they're just really bad service out there for other options, I believe, in there.
I get a decent cell phone service out there at my place, but,
From your place west though, from that curve, when you go west, cell phone service really drops. You're just gonna drop a call when you go, or for me it is anyhow.
they say Starlink, as far as satellite, is the best way to go. It's like $110 a month. Then you gotta buy like $500 or $600 worth of apparatuses for everything to work. I don't mind that part, but we haven't got that deep into what we're gonna do. We may not move out there for a little bit yet. I can see that happening anyway.
Yeah.
We've been in this house we're in for 25 years.
I see. Think maybe these might come in that rush truck. Isn't that who that bill is Rush Truck Center?
You're talking about
I
everything.
think these may
Up on that truck reminds me of
the back of that. I think.
Jeremy on 71
Yeah,
Shell.
I think.
My neighbor just signed it when I gave him that car.
I think they got.
Yeah, it's,
They got
Right.
pulled off and
He
stacked.
right there. He still has that
Okay,
car
yeah,
today,
so
so
that's where they-
that was when he was 14. So,
this
no,
is
probably.
minus 1254, so it's right
It
there.
should be a,
Yeah, they just got pulled
Yeah.
off of the cliff on the back there.
Here's the
Maybe they can go.
finished
newspaper.
product of it.
wow. 72? Yeah.
Looks way different now.
I had one that was a green, that kind of lime green and white, just like.
Haven't yours?
Yeah.
That's a
That's my favorite
Or-
bond.
Yeah, that looks good.
I like those better than the square
That
bodies.
looks so good.
Yeah.
And then we went ahead and redid the seats because
I'm not necessarily a green person, but that right there looks pretty cute,
Yeah,
pretty neat.
yeah, I really like it.
there's
I don't know what
seats.
everybody, yeah, I don't know what everybody calls those, but, you know.
It was hard.
I like those better than the
Oh,
square
that
bodies.
looks good.
And the later ones, the 71, 72s are nicer than the 67.
And the whole floor's been
Grill's a lot
replaced too.
better.
And we got all the rust off of it. And
Where'd you acquire it?
where did we get the truck? You know, Jan and Tim Martin
Oh,
was there. It would have been
yeah.
her brother,
Jay's.
JD's.
Eighties, yeah. Really?
And we were putting the bed line there.
Oh, that looks good.
Looks really nice now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
It was a Herculean bed liner.
I was looking at one on Facebook Marketplace, I
Oh,
like it,
what
they
a
wanted
slope.
44,000 for it, and that kind of turned me off a little bit.
yeah.
Do that way.
I was looking at one like that, but they wanted 44,000 for it, I thought maybe they were asking enough. I didn't think that was out of my way on my plate, but I should come and sell some toys if I was gonna buy one like that. But it was a nice truck, but Georgia or something.
There's from the shade there, you can't really tell, but
Yeah, but he did a nice job, like to me.
So it's already done, very real.
Who painted it for you?
friend of my dad.
And your son, right? Your son was involved.
Oh, he was involved, not with the painting, but
Right.
he was involved with working on it.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's a finished product.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some things that could be done, but for the most part, it's,
There always is.
yeah,
There's always some
nothing
other
that's
detail.
critical, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
The cab is bolted back down, which the bolts were gone, so it was just sitting there waiting to fall off, and so, yeah. It's road safe now.
Good. Good.
There's somebody in the Dale family that want to own
Well, the boys had it, and
Yeah?
I guess they weren't really interested in, I'm not exactly sure. And so then Jan bought it,
Right.
they didn't wanna let it go. And then they were gonna fix it up, but then their life plan changed, and so then they were up for selling it, so.
I seen that in the garage.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tim drove it around in the summer,
right.
he was mowing and stuff, and I always thought, and I was like, I love that, but we had one just like it,
Yeah.
except it was a '69. It was all green
I see.
when I was young, and so I would see it, and I was like, I love that old truck.
Yeah.
And then when Grayson expressed wanting an old truck, I thought, I wonder if they'd be interested in selling, because I knew what their
Sure.
plans had changed, and so they had a buyer, and then the buyer didn't show up or something, and then another one, I don't know what happened, and so then they let me know, and I was like,
Yeah.
well, come and look at it.
They are coming.
Yeah, I know.
This is just for your records, when you brought up, what money's coming back to the county, that's the sources and uses went out.
Thank you.
When they close, you'll see that the county gets, like I was saying, about 170 grand, so.
Okay, I do remember that now, in one of those conversations with Serrano, in the, yeah, I do remember that.
So,
It was, gosh, I'm trying to think of the verbiage. It all had to do with the bonds we issued, and,
that's right,
yeah,
that's right.
yeah, okay, thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you.
Refresher courses are always nice.
So in looking at the employee benefits report, since we went to KPNF at the beginning of this year, it looks like we will be probably a little bit over on that line item. But I think the overall fund will cover it, so I probably will need to increase that a little bit for next year, so.
And that's for the KPNF.
Yeah, 'cause we switched.
Right.
Mhm. But to make that change and to be still about able to cover, that's pretty good, so. Didn't put us in a bad position. So we might come in right at about what we budgeted, so. We're guessing, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's been long enough back that I did forget that. Yep. That is correct.
Yes, there's 302.
Yeah.
And this is it, so you're right close, should have been 299. Took 2 weeks, everybody here, but for us, it's 319.
On gasoline.
Yeah. Almost close. Had a lower price for a long time.
Yeah, I noticed that.
It's always 10 cents, it's 20 cents now.
Yeah, I was gonna sell that Chevelle at Jeremy's. It's part of starting my own business. Gosh. 93. 92, 93. You do not want me to sell that car. So I told him, I said, you got X amount of dollars saved by Christmas, and I'll just give it to you. So we could rebuild the motor and
Right.
fix the brakes. He had all that money saved, went out and mowed, traded papers. Yeah, well, it's good. By the time Christmas come around, he had wheels bought for it. Just pulled the motor. D&D Francis overhauled it, put it back in, put the new wheels on it, stereo. I'll be with
This all goes into,
Always in the screen.
and that's, this is the first one, right?
Yeah.
This is about stuff, right? Okay. Good.
heard, but I didn't know we did.
Hmm.
Good. Well, then, yeah.
Yeah, on their page.
Yeah, I better put my time in.
Okay.
I think it would have been in 96 Summer Olympics. My brother-in-law, his family originated in Florida.
You got a, this is Engel, but they've got an extra signature sheet on the back here, plus the front one.
His niece made the U.S. Olympic diving team in 96. She took 10th, I believe, in the world diving. And now her youngest daughter is in the U.S. Synchronized swimming.
So she's going to, does she go to Paris?
Summer Olympics.
Wow, well, that's,
That is next,
That page too.
okay, oh, okay.
Got place on the front too.
I've always been impressed with the Olympics.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid,
So she's in synchronized swimming, is that what you're saying?
I want to say that's what it is. I gotta look it back up again.
No, that's,
But yeah.
that's great.
Do you have anything for a roundtable meeting?
No, I'll try to cinch up the rest of these budgets and have the budget books ready. If you want to review any Monday while you're here still, you can.
Okay. I got 2 more meetings. First and the 8th. We made a couple of appointments, if you will, for afternoon extensions of the meeting. If I remember correctly, the 8th was the chamber. And then next week is
The towers.
towers, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, I don't have anything.
I don't know either.
I guess if nobody's got anything, because it's 11, we'll just adjourn it right till Monday morning.
There you go.
We're off.
Yeah.